And we're so happy today to have on the air with us once more Father William Lechnar as we talk about the installation of Bishop-elect Larry J. Kulick as the new bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Greensburg. Our conversation brought to you by Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Father Willie, good morning.
Good morning, Todd.
It's so good to have you with us here today.
On this wintry day, we need to pray for sunshine, that's for sure.
Wintry yet auspicious within the Greensburg Catholic Diocese, because
right.
This is a really big day, the installation of a bishop, isn't it?
It really is. It's only the sixth time that we've had the installation of a bishop. Bishop-elect Kulick is number 6 in a line that has been serving the people of Western Pennsylvania as the Diocese of Greensburg since March of 1951.
Wow. And this is a neat guy. You just, talk about whatever else. This is a guy who just, he has a lot of great interests, a variety of interests, and seems like a guy that has a lot of fun.
Oh, especially if you start talking with Bishop-elect about Pontiacs and antique cars.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that's his special avocation. Everybody needs something to call a hobby, and antique cars. He's great with that. But he's also, more importantly, quite a spiritual leader and has a great pastoral heart.
And indeed, that has played out all over the diocese. This is a guy who was born right here within the Greensburg Catholic Diocese.
Right. He's the first bishop that we have who was actually born within the Diocese of Greensburg. The others have been were born and went to seminary and came here to the Diocese of Greensburg, and he is the first native-born son, so to speak.
It's amazing the following the career path of Bishop Larry Kulick because it has been done largely within the diocese, and so he has friends all over. 5 counties? He's got friends in all 5.
4 counties.
Four counties.
4 counties. Yeah, Indiana, Armstrong, Westmoreland, and Fayette.
Yeah, and he's got friends that he's served in some capacity, one way or another, in all of them.
Right. He has a vast array of experience and brings a lot to the table, knowing the struggles and the difficulties of Western Pennsylvania with declining demographics and economic challenges. He knows the land.
And his experience is really needed at this time. There are issues within the Catholic Church as a whole, but here within the Catholic Diocese of Greensburg, the issues are unique to it, as every parish has its own. Diocese has its own issues. So what are some of those strengths that he brings to face some of these challenges? Well,
one of his greatest strengths is not so administrative as it is pastoral. He approaches things with a vision that is unique. He knows the people, and so he's looking at so many aspects of the challenges we face with how is the church going to not just survive, but how is it going to thrive? And that's a real challenge.
It certainly is. And I'm sure that you've had conversations with him since the announcement that he would be the new bishop. How has he approached getting not up to speed, since he's been here all along and he's been performing very, very many of these vital roles, but how is he approaching some of these problems?
Well, I think he has been the administrator of the Diocese of Greensburg since our previous bishop, Malesic. Bishop Malesic was moved on to the Diocese of Cleveland back in September to be their bishop, and so he's had time to get his feet wet since September when he kind of took over the reins of authority as the administrator. And but he goes back even farther than that through his administrative experience with Bishop Brandt prior to Bishop Malesic, and even to Bishop Bosco's days.
Wow!
And so it's learning and growing from each and every administration in which he has served that has brought him to today.
And a part of that education is now he is a licentiate in canon law.
Right.
And that is a strength that is vitally needed right now, isn't it?
Right. There's canon lawyers are a unique breed in the Catholic Church. They have to look at things pastorally and practically in ways to adhere to church law and to be aware of civil law and all of those aspects of the technicalities of the Catholic Church, finance and physical plant needs and other aspects that are definitely connected to the mission of Christ.
So as a diocese, we'll have challenges and problems that must be dealt with. There are strengths and blessings that a diocese is able, through its collective, to address as well. And certainly that's worthy of celebration.
Right. And that's why today is such a joyful occasion to look at where we will be in the future, to show that, yes, the Catholic Church has had struggles and difficulties like every institution over time, but to look at this as yet another beginning, as new footsteps forward. We had this just 5 years ago when Bishop Malesic was here and made great strides. And now the Holy Spirit has given us a new challenge to take this direction and continue it and help the mission of the gospel grow. That's what it's all about. As you know, I'm not Catholic, but tell me what this service will be like today. What will people see when they tune it in, either online or on TV? Right. It will be on EWTN, and it will also be on the diocesan website, www.dioceseofgreensburg.org. And it will be a ceremony that is not like your typical ordination and installation ceremony because of the impact, and we hear it every day, because of COVID-19. So we're not going to have the large crowds. We're not going to have the music as we normally would. We're going to have great music, great liturgy, but just not, what we are used to having, because we're not used to having this in the middle of a pandemic. So there will be an ordination rite, because right now Bishop-elect Kulick is a priest. There are 3 ranks of ordination, so to speak, of holy orders in the Catholic Church: the deacon ordination, the priest ordination, and the bishop ordination. And those are also called the presbyteral and the episcopal ordination. So he will be ordained by 3 co-consecrating bishops: Archbishop Perez from Philadelphia, Bishop Malesic, and Bishop Brandt. Those 3 will be present for his validly presented ordination, and then he will be installed almost simultaneously as the 6th Bishop of Greensburg. But he has to be a bishop before he's installed. So that's why they're calling this the ordination and installation. The presence of Bishops Brandt and Malesic must be very special to him. Sure. And, also Bishop Persico from Erie and others will be present. They will be those Archbishop Perez and Bishop Malesic and Bishop Brandt will be the co-consecrators, but there will be others who he knows from his experience and who he's learned from. He's served in so many administrations that he's been able to hopefully pick their strengths, their best strengths, and reflect them in his own new leadership style. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be an interesting thing to watch develop as Bishop Larry J. Kulick is installed today and ordained and installed. Right. While I have you on the line, a couple of other items I wanted to make note of. Today, you're going to do a very special thing for a good friend of mine and of so many people here in Indiana County. Jerry and Bonnie Page are going to have their 60th wedding anniversary. I didn't know you knew them. I didn't know you knew Jerry and Bonnie. Yeah, today is a very special day for them. I could tell you stories. My former algebra teacher and former hospital roommate, all of these different things. But they're such a very special couple for me and for my family. They're good friends of my parents.
But their son Greg, their son Jeff, everybody involved in the family. It's just a very special group of people, and so today's going to be a nice
and they're
day.
celebrating 60 years together, and what
Yeah.
a blessing! A 60th wedding anniversary is just tremendous, and you know it kind of puts into perspective that all the aspects of the church that we're celebrating today.
Yeah.
You know, we're celebrating leadership, we're celebrating priesthood, we're celebrating married life with Jerry and Bonnie, and so it's kind of a wonderful, wonderful occasion. They were concerned at first when they had this date planned for their 60th anniversary mass. They thought that they may have to change it because of Bishop-elect Kulick's ordination, and unfortunately, and fortunately. That wasn't the case because there's a very, very limited number of folks who were invited. Even most of the priests of the diocese are not, unfortunately, invited to be present. We're going to have to be virtually present, just like mostly everyone else.
Yeah.
But we did have this on the books to celebrate Jerry and Bonnie, and I'm so glad to hear that you know them. They're wonderful, wonderful people.
Yeah, they really are. And I didn't mean to neglect the other family members either, because it's just a good family that has such an influence on so many people in that area. Also today, I just wanted to touch base with you about something else that is quite important, and that is Ash Wednesday is next Wednesday, and then the season of Lent begins.
That Lent begins, and again, due to COVID in the United States, we're going to see a different practice that is practiced in other parts of the world regularly. Normally, we would have the imposition of ashes on the forehead in the shape of a cross. We're not doing that this year because of COVID concerns. We are going to do like many other countries around the world have done for centuries, and that's sprinkle a bit of the ashes on the top of the head. So there's not real physical contact. Mm-hmm. And we remember that we are dust, and unto dust we shall return, and this too shall pass. And we enter into the season of Lent, leading us always to the glorious resurrection.
It is such a special season of the year, and so appropriate that the season of Lent unfolds from winter and into spring as well.
Exactly.
Well, we look forward to so much of what will be happening today and then over the course of the next 6 weeks or so. And you have helped us to turn our heads in that direction. Father William Lechnar, thanks so much for being with us today.
Well, thanks so much, and just wishing everyone a blessed, blessed day today in this joyful occasion and a great season of Lent, a time of conversion, a time of change, a time of hope.
Beautiful. Thanks so much for being with us. Have a wonderful day.
Hey, Todd, you too. Thanks so much. Always a pleasure.
Bye now. It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160 FM and AM 1160 FM.